Seems to be working. Are we live? Are we all live? Yet. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. It's Pillars of Eternity's time. It's been a little while since, there it is. Since last we streamed Pillars of Eternity. The last time around I was feeling a little bit under the weather. This time around I'm not. I'm better. I'm better. Still a little bit, as you could tell, I still have a little bit of a phlegm, I guess would be. Karaher, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How? Oh, hello. Yes. Hello to you as well. And I'm a little bit sniffly. I do have a napkin over here that I didn't use last time I ate at my desk, so I have something to clean my snout with. What are we doing here still in Ondra's Gift? Well, we have a few quests, and we need to go over here, and we need to talk to Mael, or Magel, Mushkarf, because there's a few things that we have done, and need to let her know that the bandits are no longer gonna, Maya, that's the word, no longer gonna bother her. Jung, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Play some Warframe and watch in the same time, if that even possible. Yes, that is possible, especially Warframe, unless you don't, unless you're playing just very high level content, in which case you might die. Oh, and Karaher, you're still sick. Aw, not getting better. Getting better a little bit. Are you on the slope back up? Because that's what matters, really. Sort of. Well, it matters that you're not sick, but still.
Greetings.
Yeah, I talked with the ringleader. She's agreed to leave you alone. Yeah, we talked to the ringleader. She was in a house or something. Fairly inconsequential stuff, all things considered. Maya's brow ridges rise, or brow ridges, yeah. Well, that's a welcome surprise, and one worth celebrating. Take some coppers and enjoy yourself. And if you choose to have fun here, enjoy my special discount. Oh, and now you give me this discount after I spent twice this much on a lady upstairs. A discount? Well, in that case, I can't afford not to sample the house specials, says Iravius. His hands dart about his tunic for loose copper. You're all welcome to watch. Anyone? Anyone? He shrugs and continues to search his clothes for coins. Your loss? Yeah. Now, come. Just what can I do for a comely lass like yourself? No, you can't do anything because we have completed that quest. Let's look at the quests we have. So we have the main quest, which is something that we're going to do today. Maria, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. You just subbed. Well, thank you so much for the sub. And welcome to the channel. I just mostly focused on role-playing games. That's how I do. That's what I do. And I'm playing Pillars of Eternity. I've done about 20 streams by now. Maybe less than that, I think. Of Pillars of Eternity. I've done other games. I'm playing on maximum difficulty, and I'm just basically trying to beat the game on maximum difficulty. It's very tricky, but it's very fun as well, because now I understand how the game systems work, which I didn't on my Let's Play. So, yeah. Let's see. So, we're looking now at our quest. So, let's see. This is the main quest. We're gonna do the Hermit of Hadrit's house. Oh, no, wait a minute. We already got that. Oh, yeah, we need to go to Lady Webb again. No, we don't. I told Lady Webb about the Latin Keys work in Heritage Hill. We did that already. Don't worry. If you're new to the game, I'm just gonna fill you in on the quest lines when it's important. Let's see. The man who waits. This is the story we're gonna do right now. And through that gate. This is in Deerford, so it's a different area. Durgan Battery, that's the expansion. We're still not going up there because that is kind of dangerous. And then we have these things. Find an expert on awakening somewhere in Defiance Bay. Aloth mentioned that Defiance Bay has an entire institution devoted to the study of illnesses. That's where we're going, but we're not bringing Aloth with us. So maybe we're going to do this quest later or something to that extent. I don't think it fails. I hope it doesn't. You know if Bumpy will make his stream today. I hope he will. If he does, I don't know what time it is that he starts, but he used to start in 2 hours time. So yeah, I think I'll still be able to stop by when I finish mine, because I'm gonna go for 3 hours. So maybe it's still gonna be around. Young Bulls, welcome to the stream. How's it going? And law to you as well, Young Blues. WGSPQ, welcome to the stream. Hell, he's turning into who had a flaming katana? I don't remember who it was. I remember somebody. Oh, Jung is going. Jung. Uh, 7 p.m. Yeah, it's 2 hours from now. Oh yeah, Ark and Morrowind. Well, I enjoyed the Let's Play of Morrowind a little bit more than the one than one we did of Ark, and that's probably visible by the number of episodes Ark got and what number of episodes Morrowind did. So I hope you enjoyed those. Yeah, on streaming is a different thing. I have a video about that actually, but streaming is a different thing. Streaming is more about just relaxing and hanging out with you guys, and the way I play the games actually changes. So it's a different sort of experience, and I came to terms with that very fast because the first streams I did were of The Witcher 3, and I was doing highlights of that. I will still do a Let's Play of The Witcher 3 sometime in the future, but I was doing highlights of that, and the limitations I had, not just the amount of cutting I had to do, but the limitations I had with the actual stuff that I was putting out. It's very different. It's very certainly a very different format. Bruno, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Good evening to you as well. Well, I guess to you still be good afternoon, I suppose. 3 hours from... No, actually, it's probably a good evening for you already. You haven't missed anything. I've just finished a little quest, but that was irrelevant. It was more for me. Morrowind is just a huge game. A huge game. Pillars of Eternity, Deadfire, that's the second one. No, this is the first one. Deadfire is the second one. Let's see. So we're looking at the quests over here. So we have the two-sided. That's for Aelith's quest. Travel to Craigor to investigate the conflict. That's going to be a little while. A return to court. Chancellor Warren has requested another meeting with me. I forgot about this one. He wants to speak with me at the Charred Barrel. Didn't we go there already? Well, let's go to Charred Barrel. Let's do that right now. I think there's no real point in hanging around over here in the brothel of the area of the city called Undra's Gift. It's called Undra's Gift because Undra is the goddess of the water or the sea, and it's the gift that I don't really understand why. I don't know. This place apparently got flooded or something, but it got flooded down there. I'm not really sure. So let's go to Brackenbury, I believe. No, is it Brackenbury? It is. Copper Lane and Brackenbury. Brackenbury over there, because Brackenbury being the part of the city where the... No, it's sort of a bit of a fancy part of the city, really. Not really, but not the fanciest. But this is where the Animancers live. And there's the Charred Barrel over here, which is, to my knowledge, the best bar, the best drinking hole in this place. And in this city, which is the capital of the country that we're playing at. And let's go inside. Because that's where I clicked that, but it didn't work. You were playing Elder Scrolls Online. I have never played that game. I kind of wanted to, but then there's other things for me to play. So yeah, it's kind of lackluster side questing. Yeah, it's that problem. Skyrim also has some pretty lackluster side questing in my opinion. That's why I'm enjoying Enderall so much. It's a little bit more sparse, but it's a little bit more dedicated in what it does. You don't need a nice PC to run Morrowind online. You do need a new PC, but that thing is very well optimized from what I read. It uses the Unreal Engine, I believe, which is a very nice engine for low power machines. Yeah, I finished it. My God, I finished Skyrim 3 times already, Karaher. Twice vanilla and once modded. Actually, I never completely finished it modded because it just gets broken. But I had my fun with it. It's fine. Like 80 hours. Vanilla World of Warcraft? Sure. On the spot. That's easy. That's easy, WSBQ. Witcher 3, of course. Of course, although they are different games. That was one of the first things I said when I was playing The Witcher 3. I think it was actually probably about second or third stream that I did. And then I was like, man, I really hope that Bethesda just learns from The Witcher 3, because there's a lot of stuff that The Witcher 3 does that the Elder Scrolls could do, but they are different games, so it's tricky to strike a balance. Yeah, the graphics don't really matter too much. I mean, they matter in The Witcher, but not so much. Depends on the games, really. They matter in The Witcher because you're just seeing dialogue so often. Yeah, then there's the customization. It's just different games, really. 3.5 times bigger than Skyrim. Oh yeah, definitely. Skyrim is really small. Really small. It's Witcher 3 is huge, just absolutely enormous. Anyway, we came over here because we need to talk to Chancellor Warren, and he is yeah, the Shire Battle. Where is the Chancellor? I shall want to talk to him. There he is. This guy is the one that basically is representing a guy that wants to take over my castle. Can you believe that? Let's see what he has to say. I'm just saving there. Lady Selenumbra, what brings you to Brackenbury? Well, you put... Oh. This is bad news. Let me look around the room. You realize that the char barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing through the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride into the tavern. Oh dear! The Chancellor quickly ducks behind the table. Oh, wait a minute, he's not actually trying to kill me? Oh, how nice. That's the nicest thing anybody has ever done for me. The woman leading the armed group lowers her cowl with one hand while keeping the other on a pistol tucked in her belt. You immediately recognize Gathbin's captain. I remember her. Now that sheep has been herded from their pen, and you and I can conduct our business, unfortunate as it may be. What do you want? Oh, I think you know. Lord Gathbin has ordered your death. That's the guy that wants my castle. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Wait a minute. So, what, you admire my exploits and about more and the exploits that are not that I have done? What's Gathbin will lose. You should work for me instead. The man is swine, albeit noble, wealthy swine. Her lips curl in feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt I'd have taken in with him. But what's done is done, and Lord Gathbin is as ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. I didn't betray him. I just got the castle. What could you offer to make me consider such a risk? Oh, she actually wants to listen to me. That's good, because that way she doesn't die. Or go to my prison, which is also a possibility. A better life, working for an honorable lady. I've heard such stories about you. They can't all be true, can they? She's silent for a moment. Tales of your charity, your kindness. But I also see strength in you. But is that enough to best Lord Gathbin? That gamble is too rich for my blood. Still, I think I can tell Gathbin that you didn't take the bait and never showed up here. No need for anyone to die today, eh? And she looks at her troops and they nod in agreement. Oh, look at that! Saving lives! Know this, the day will come soon when you must face Gathbin. I've lived this long by knowing which side to be on. Prove yourself on the battlefield, and who knows? Until we meet again, Selenumbra. And off she goes. I remember... Anyway. Well, that was unexpected. Warren emerges from beneath his table and smooths the rumpled sleeves of his robe. It does make the strange reports I've received from the Grasp make more sense in context, however. What haven't you told me? Earl Badamar, which is the leader of the sort of place that we're all in, including Gathbin and me, my castles, our castles, and yeah. The Earl has decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathbin's activities. Gathbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose? We can't say. I'd advise you to take extra precautions at Cadnua. You may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. Be wary, Selenumbra. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathbin's endgame yet. Well, I have in my Let's Play, but yeah. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading for the door. That was good. That was good. WTSBQ can read sign language. Yes. Ninja, how's it going? Ninjari24, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome on in. Oh, you're Charlene. Hello, Charlene. Why, you were Charlene here as well? No, wait a minute. Were you? No, you were not. No, you were not. I remember you telling me. I remember somebody, not you, Charlene. It was you, but it wasn't with your name. It was you. Showing up. Oh, I'm Charlene, and I was like, I remember Charlene. So welcome on into the stream. It's been a while. Final Fantasy 15. 700 square miles. That's something. Still not the largest. Karaher. Still not the largest. If at the top of that, actually, I am curious. So, this list is bollocks. Immediately. Still not the largest. There's a game that has a real-time, real-size world. No, actually not real-time, but real-size world. It's called The Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. It's got the size of Britain. Or half the size of Britain. In any case, it is bigger than stupid Final Fantasy 15. What's that? 700 square miles. So, yeah, there we go. Daggerfall has a very, very big map. There might be more, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, I know. Fancy Fatman, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a fan as well. We're just talking, shooting the ducks and talking about big world maps for games. And also I'm doing the last little bit of quests here before I go and talk to a man who waits. That's going to be a bit of main quest stuff that we're going to do in a little bit. So let's see. Return to Cadnua. Okay, that's going to wait a little bit. Travel to the cave from Ferga's vision. Ferga? Oh yeah, Ferga was the lady in the keep, in the, I don't remember, basically the government keep, that takes care of the fires of Magrin. Magrin is the goddess of, patron goddess of the city, and she has had a vision, and I think I know where that is. It's not in the city, so we're gonna have to wait. Give Yana's research to Dunstan. Oh, I know where that is, where Dunstan is. So Commander Claver and of the Knights of the Crucible has a plan. And he's asked Forge Master Dunstan to construct Forge Knights. Yes. So he, I went and talked to Dunstan, and he said I need some research, and I went and met. It's here in the first fires. I met with that other person, and that other person gave me the thing, because I don't remember exactly if it went. Oh, Daggerfall can be 80 square miles. Is that true? Then the reports I've read are wrong. Then there we go. Bruno knows best. If that is true, the reports I've read are wrong. Because I really, 80 square miles are way too small. I thought I read it was the size of Britain. Anyway, the game has the largest map. Compressed maps don't, not compressed maps, procedurally generated maps don't count. But then again, I don't remember if Daggerfall is procedurally generated. Or does it count as procedurally generated? Do I ever play Kingsway? No, I've not. I don't know what that is. Is that, that sounds familiar to me, though. Either you've already recommended that to me and I checked it out, or I have checked it out. Because that sounds familiar. Oh, I'm loving my Enderall gameplay as well. Enderall is really, really fun. Thank you for enjoying it. Daggerfall is not on the list because it's procedurally generated. Karaher to the rescue there, then. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense. I just looked at the list very, very quickly, so. Let's talk to Dunstan. So, just a brief reminder, these are the Crucible Knights, and they are sort of metalsmithing knights that worry themselves about forging and all this sort of stuff, and they're the sort of police of this country. And Dunstan is the last great forge master. Let's have a chat with him. He's fun. I like him. So, yeah, I think this is what you've been looking for, and I'm gonna give him the...
That's what Cleaver's been looking for anyway.
Oh.
If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
You don't sound too happy about it? I'm not, and I'm surprised someone as strong-willed as you is going along with it. I've made it clear to Cleaver that this is a mistake trying to harness souls like this. It's a crime against the gods, and it's bound to earn us more trouble than it saves. But Cleaver's given me his order. I've got to build these things best I can. Anyway, Cleaver's told me I'm to sell you any arms or armor you might want. You won't find better anywhere in the finest bay. I can promise you that.
Time to see if that Valian was worth all that blood and copper.
That Valian was the lady that I got the plans
I'll
from.
be damned. To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well.
It worked. Nice.
Back to it. Cleaver will want me to finish the rest of them. And it sounded like he has a job for you, too.
No, I need to go and talk to Cleaver. Cleaver is the boss of these guys. Let's see what we have here in terms of trading. Do I really need a lot of stuff? Let's look at our items here. So I could use, let's see, this thing, crits can inflict prone, which is also really nice. I have a sword here, and I have a Morning Star, and she has already 2 unique items. Yeah, I could get a fine warbow there. Endurance over here. Oh no, you're not using that. You're using this. What's going on? So yeah, Endurance has that. I could get a warbow, but if there's anything better, I might as well. Where's Durance? Where's Dunstan? There it is. Hey Dunstan, show me what to have for sale. Yeah, I just did a couple of episodes of Pathfinder Kingmaker just to check it out. But there's a lot of content there. I just don't want to spoil it for myself. I'll be doing a full Let's Play of Pathfinder when it comes out next year, or this year actually. Or supposed to be to come out this year, so I'll be doing a full Let's Play of that. Oh, Stardew Valley 2 is gonna take a long while to come. I don't even know if it's ever gonna happen. I really think that they should add DLC to Stardew Valley. There's no real reason why they shouldn't, just make it deeper. Just add new mechanics for fishing as a DLC, or new, like, seed-making things. Just allow you to build and play a game that you really want. Like, for example, if you really like fishing, you get more mechanics there and get the DLC for that. They really should do that, and I don't really see why they don't do that. I imagine the code is not good for that. Just the way it was built, maybe. It's not modular enough or whatever. Now, that very well might be the case, actually, considering it's a 2D game. 62,000 square miles. Oh. Okay, not 80. Definitely not 80. 62,000, that's the size of Daggerfall. But it is procedural, so there we go. It doesn't count. Because if it is procedural, you can make it infinite if you want. And there are games with infinite maps. Look at Minecraft. Just doesn't have a static map, but still. I am also playing Elex as well, yes. Elex is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. Despite some jankiness every once in a while. It is a little bit janky every once in a while, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Pretty trees and stuff, for sure. Oh yeah, Ninja. Ninjari. It is. I don't know if it is sort of random or not, but you get extra characters. I mean, I got one on. Well, I got some characters on my stream, and then on my Let's Play, I got others. So, yeah. You try to look at Minecraft as little as possible. Yeah, I haven't played Minecraft in a long while. Yeah, sort of 5 out of 10. I don't know. Ranking the games like that is tricky. I think Elex is an example where Elex is an example where that it really shows that a game doesn't need to be good to be fun and to be worthwhile. No Man's Sky, no way. Or how big it is. Yeah, good point. But it doesn't need to be, like, imagine, I don't know, it's trying to think of a big name, by the book, sort of mainstream game that is good. Let's say Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3. I thought that was a good game, sort of already a bit tired formula. Like, yeah, just imagine Far Cry 3 and pit it against the original Far Cry, which are made by different teams, by different companies, so they're different games. But I say the original Far Cry because that's one of my favorite shooters of all time. But pit the original Far Cry against Far Cry 3, and there's no, like, objectively speaking, if they came out today, there's no denying that Far Cry 3 is a better game. It's got a better storyline, it's got better gameplay, and it's bigger, it's prettier, it's got more diverse quests. Well, yeah, definitely. But for what it is, just because it's more doesn't mean it's better. And the rate that you'd give Far Cry, the first one, and the rate that you'd give Far Cry 3, it would reflect that. But I still would go for Far Cry 1. It's just, and I think Elex is kind of like that. Let's think of a game like Elex. Skyrim, I guess. Skyrim is objectively better than Elex on all accounts. No, not all accounts, but most accounts. But the fact that Elex, for me, just has an enjoyable exploration, and he's got charisma, he's got quirks, and it's unique, and even if it's not by the books, and that's the thing. It's not like, oh, there's a big dragon on top of a mountain and some dudes that don't talk. Like, it's weird, and you'll remember that. That's what Piranha Byte does, or hopefully does, and that's why I think Elex is a more worthwhile game than Skyrim, honestly. Of course, the modding scene changes Skyrim quite a lot, because with mods, you make Skyrim a very, very amazing game. You can make it an amazing game. Not so much the storyline or quests, but then again, that's not really the focus of the game. But that's the thing, it's just sort of, it depends on your perspective, it depends on your opinion, and the quirks there are really what make the game for me, I think. Confusing stats and bad mechanics, definitely. There's nothing wrong with liking a game, young bulls. Nah, time also has nothing to do with comparing anything, because time doesn't make a game better or worse. Nothing. There's nothing. We've reached we've plateaued in terms of game design since Heroes of Might and Magic 3. The year 2001 is where we got. It's there. And weird interfaces, sure, but in terms of game design, we've been there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. There's a few things here and there, but it generally doesn't change anything. Like compare Dishonored with Thief 2, for example. Dishonored is worse. It's as simple as that. Dishonored is worse. Even with Thief 1, I have more fun with Thief 1 than I had with Dishonored. But I honestly think Dishonored is better than Thief 1, despite being, yeah, sort of. But it's like, it also depends on your opinions, I guess. Mr. Childbird, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. How's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Let's see what we have over here. So we have any stock, a unique stock. So we could give it to him. It's a little bit of on the pricey side. Maybe we should want to go for armor rather than a stock. Especially, let's see. I kind of want to just go with unique ones because it's kind of irrelevant to buy the other stuff. Then we got a really nice heavy armor over here. Damage reduction on freeze. That's really nice. The speed is kind of nasty. 30 defense against prone attacks, 15 defense against push attacks. Heldrick's coat. I like that. We don't really have much else. Let's see what we have in terms of armor over here. So he has a unique armor right there. It's currently giving him... Let's see. This gives us survival. Yeah, we already have uniques. Adu Breaker, and they're both very heavy armor. You don't have heavy armor, though. But then again, do I want that? What I really wanted was sort of a middle-of-the-road kind of armor. That'd be interesting, because this thing is way too slow. Minus 50 is way too slow, and especially because he's a spellcaster. So, Shot in Faith. Forge Master's Gloves. Damage reduction against burn. That also grants you Firebrand. So we got some interesting items over here. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to buy them. This stock is nice, the White Spire. Also looks cool. The White Spire is like a unicorn horn.
To.
So let's have a chat with Cleaver. Now that Dunstan is done with us. Cleaver, of course, as I said, is the boss of the Crucible Knights, who are the police of this place. Can you kind of move forward and faster? Thank you. How may I be of assistance? Was there more you needed me to do? Because we did that quest already.
Dunstan will complete the first squad of Forge Knights in no time. Now the High Justice will want to have his Forge Masters at Fleetbreaker Castle create more.
Yeah, we haven't been to Fleetbreaker Castle yet. I think we can go there.
I've made a copy of Viana's research, and the High Justice has sent a courier to Anslog's Compass to retrieve it. The Dozens have gotten too active for the courier to come to Defiance Bay. And after Viana's kidnapping, we've got to assume they know about our plans. That's why I'm sending you to deliver the research. You shouldn't be recognizable to the Dozens. Yet.
Yeah, so the Dozens are already openly fighting the Crucible Knights against this. The Dozens are basically sort of a local militia against Animansters, who control souls and all that sort of stuff. And because these guys are trying to put souls in armor and just make sort of armored, like sort of animated armor go around, the Dozens are already up in arms against that. So it's kind of interesting that we're already at that point. We also need to go back to the Dozens, I think. I think there's more quests to do there, but let's see. Securing the city against the Dozens agitating seems like a worthwhile goal. It's certainly too important to be entrusted to a common courier, says Pelagina. But after this, I expect they'll learn of your association with us, and they won't be too happy about it. Neither will the Doemanels. Oh, they're all dead. Don't worry about the Doemanels. They're trying to expand the family business, and they resent us for standing in the way. I need someone I can trust, and you've proven your integrity both in my service and in Defiance Bay. Yeah, consider it done.
Anslog's Compass is a small lagoon just north of Defiance Bay.
I've been there.
Your contact will be a commander named Arenroad. She'll meet you by the docks. Return to me when you've finished. The High Justice has made the expansion of the Forge Knights his top priority, which means it's mine as well.
I don't remember meeting the High Justice. I don't remember that, who it is. But anyway, we have gained a mission and a copy of Viana's research. That was the research that I brought to Dunstan. So yeah. There's a lot to see, Ninjari. A lot to see in Elex. But I think I enjoy the pacing I added to the game. It's well paced, I think. I added to the Let's Play, I should say. I think it's well paced. You'll see a steadily slow down up until... No, it's still sort of a... You'll see sort of steady pace up until episode like 15, and then a slow down up until episode 30, sort of slowing down, and then it kind of hits a bottom of slowness at the episode 30, and then it goes back up. And then it just stays sort of up there with just every episode being kind of madness. And yeah, I'm always really excited to play Elex. Crash Bandicoot hard. Crash Bandicoot is frustrating. It's not hard. Well, it is hard because it's frustrating. Dark Souls hard. Oh no, you're saying about Elex being hard. No, not way harder than those games. Elex is impossible if you don't play like properly. Not in the sense of just having the skills that you need to have and all that sort of stuff. It just is impossible. So let's see. A return to court, the false meeting with Chancellor Warren, and the attack by Captain Emery were both distractions to keep me away from Cadnua. Yes, I need to go over there. Cinders of Faith. This is the other one. Far from home. I have the medallion. Tristun is waiting for me at the inn. Oh, yeah. We've been there. Kind of forgot about that. Tristun was that guy that was the thief guy that apparently got himself up in some thieving things with a whore, basically. That was, she's an actual prostitute. I'm not insulting her. And she basically wanted money for the medallion, and he didn't want to give her the money, and I went there and paid for it. Really? That's a nice person that I am. And now I'm coming over here to tell him, hey, so if you wanted you, I gotta pay. Well, we'll see. I am playing this game with all the helps on the dialogue that I have right now. Because I want to see what I can do and all that. There he is. I forgot to check on him. I'm sorry. Hey, man.
Gods keep you.
Did you do it? Did you get the medallion from Cyril? Yes. Oh, I gotta resolve. Can I? I don't know if I have resolve. Okay, let's see. So how is my stats? Resolve is 12. That is terrible. My resolve is awful. My resolve is awful. Can I buff it? I don't think so. Even if I could, it would be... I don't... Like, this probably gives me, like, what? 1 resolve each? If there's any that gives resolve. Endurance. Cheese. Maximum endurance. Up here. Sugar. Move speed. You move faster if you eat sugar. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Even if there was something that gave me resolve, it wouldn't be enough.
Welcome.
So, take the medallion. Trustun's eyes are as wide and round as the artifact in his hands. You've given my people a gift we couldn't possibly repay. I'll do the best I can, though. And he shoves a bag of coin into my hands. This is everything I have. Take it, please. Just you keep it. Your clan could use it to rebuild. The shattering spear will sing of your kindness for generations to come. If you ever find yourself in Erglanfath, please honor us with your visit. Farewell. We will go. We just gained a little bit of positive reaction in Twin Elms. Actually, if I remember correctly, I had a negative reaction when I came to Twin Elms. That's a city in Erglanfath. It's actually a different country, as far as I can tell. Yeah, we're going there eventually. Trabavar, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Welcome. Hey, Joe. How's it going? You like turtles? I don't really know if I like turtles. Okay, I don't really have any feelings towards them, to be honest. My grandmother has 2 turtles. I believe they are turtles. They could be tortoises. I don't really know the difference in English. In Portuguese, there's a difference. We call it tartaruga. It's called almost like tortuga in Spanish. It's just the original word, properly spelled. And there's also the cagadus. That's the plural version. Cagadu is the single version. And I don't really know the distinction. I believe it's got to do with whether it lives on the water or not. And if that is the case, then it is the difference between turtles and tortoises. Because the turtles my grandmother has live in water. So that's that. So I don't know. Oh, we just finished the main campaign of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Did you talk to all the characters? Because that's the fun. That's really fun. I really enjoyed the characters in Shadowrun Hong Kong. Everything else was kind of meh. But it's a really solid game. I really need to finish Dragon thingy. Because apparently that's better. And yeah, I was enjoying it. Yes, young bulls. They are turtles. Good. Welcome to Tortuga. How do you like it? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah. Ractor is interesting but creepy. She's not creepy. Wait a minute. Ractor. Oh no, wait a minute. It's not Ractor. Ractor is that guy that is red. Ractor is the rigger, right? Oh no, I'm thinking because racked and rats and all that. I'm thinking of the orc girl, Russian drone guy. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, well, he is interesting. I think he's interesting from the beginning, but I never really found it to be creepy. But yeah, I really enjoy the The orc girl, she was really interesting. She had a lot of charisma, I find. Gobbet, that's the one. Yeah, she was really fun. Reptiles hibernate in winter, don't they? Anyway, I met Helig of Thane, the wizard who killed Roina all those years ago. He claims, oh yeah, so he did this. Helig wants me to retrieve his grimoire. He's confident that it's been locked away by Moadred, an animaster at Brackenbury Sanitarium. We need to go there. And Helig's old rival. So we need to go to Sanitarium. We're doing that today. Hiravius, I need to find a druid who knows more about the Autumn Stelgar, which Hiravius turns into. It's one of my companions, Hiravius. I have no... Oh, it's in Twin Elms. It's going to take a while then. The Child of Five Sons, despite her best efforts, Ambassador Agosti has insisted that Pelagina carry out her orders. I need to go to Twin Elms, sure. The Long Hunt, when I examined the bear statuette, I felt as though I were standing atop cliffs overlooking the water. Persoc, whoever he is, must be there. I think I know where this is. Where this is? Yes. I think I might know where this is, but we'll see. The message below. If I intend to settle into the stronghold, it is likely I will have to go back to Ketnua and just destroy a bunch of things. The stronghold is just my castle. Merwold was too far gone to give us answers. We will have to navigate the ruins beneath the keep on our own. Yes. And then over here we have Durance revealed to me that he was one of the engineers of the Godhammer bomb that killed Elthas and then spawned this whole mess that we're in. There must be more to this than he isn't telling me, at least not yet. Actually, let's have a chat with Durance, because let's have a chat with our companions. We have time. It should be fine. And Ether, the record keeper was unwilling to show us the records. Yeah. He said things might be different where my reputation in the city is stronger. My reputation in the city is the best it can possibly be. It's amazing. I found 3 pieces of the scepter. Imatel will know what to do next. Oh, yeah, we need to go to Imatel. My god, so many things to do. I just want to go and do the main quest. But I can't, because I'm compelled to do the things that I'm supposed to do. Dragonfall, better. That's the one, Caraher. I was forgetting the name. Ninja Turtles are cool. Are they cool? I don't know. I've never watched. Okay, nobody's talking in our team. Yeah, these are just other people. So Imaxult, it's a person. It's a Valiant soldier, sailor. It's a person that's going around, and he knew about a weapon that basically spawned a bunch of animated terribleness down there, because it came on a ship. And we have all the parts of the weapon.
Well met, friend.
Is this about the broken scepter? Yes. You mean you got past those armored monsters? I don't know how. Now listen, if you're willing, I'll give you this last piece, in the name of someone who will buy it all. All I want is 200 pence for getting the cargo here. You want 200 pence for locking the rest of the crew in the hold and sinking the ship? That's what he did. Look, how about 100? I'm just trying to get by until the next job. Sure, fair enough. You'll want to go to Brackenbury Sanitarium and find Nance. That's where we're going, yes. She'll know more about this artifact, and I know for a fact she's bought them from our crew before. Okay, and that's that. Clandestine cargo ready. Will you be finishing Battle Chaser's night work? Asks Caraher. No, I will not. That game is just too... for me. I will not. So sorry about that. For some reason I stopped Dragonfall right on the return of that on the first mansion. That's where I stopped as well. Oh, wait a minute. The last mission? No way. That's not where I stopped. I stopped like about 6 hours into the game. You have that, yeah, I don't remember. It's been a long while. It was before I started the channel. So yeah, it's been a long time. Oh yeah, that's how you should do Caraher. You should always mess up the first playthrough and then redo your character. That's how you play RPGs. Let's see. Speak to Wyla. I've dealt with Lyra, and she is no longer trouble on Crucible Knights or anyone else in Heritage Hill. Lyra, I should go to the Crucible Keep and First Fires and talk to Wyla. Tell Wyla what happened. So let's go there. Back to the Crucible Keep. We're just going around a bunch. Also, I should probably check and see if we are building something. We are. 1 day and 14 hours remaining. Good. That's in our castle. So we don't need to worry about that for right now. So first fires, we're gonna spawn on the west side of the map. Not a problem. Wyra, though. Trying to remember who Wyra was. I believe Wyra might have been sort of training or to the east side of the map of the Crucible Knights or something. Potion scrolls and foot. Yeah, I know what it is. If it is in the Crucible Knights, it is. In Lyra, I don't actually remember what happened. It's just it's not even a quest. It's not even marked as a quest. It's sort of a task. You have this task to do, which is a little bit confusing, to be honest. I really think that journal design is the next big step for role-playing games. That we should just come up with a... There she is. Come up with a good system that will keep you just engaged with all the quests. Any news from Heritage Hill? Lyra. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So she was telling me that she had friends in Heritage Hill. Heritage Hill is the place that was filled with undead. Was, because I killed everything. Yeah, so your guards were charmed by the spirit of a woman named Lyra. That's right. Yeah. I've gotten rid of her. And the guards, unfortunately. Her tired eyes grow round. By the flame, you found her? My missing commander? And she heaves a sigh and loses her gaze among the floor tiles. And she was calling to the watch from beyond the grave. It doesn't make sense. But nothing is in that accursed district does. What happened to the soldiers under her spell? They didn't make it. I see. Nevertheless, thank you for your help. You've left me with many questions as answers, but at least I know what happened to my troops and Commander Lyra. Please accept this as a token of my gratitude. And I got a major positive with them. Okay, and a moderate positive with Defiance Bay. And she gives me 1,000 coppers and a bit of experience. Good. That's that. That was a task because... Yeah. So we have a bounty. Oh, yeah, these bounties. Yeah, I have a bounty. That's going to take a little while. These things are nasty. This thing got crazy hard. Let's see. Slicer, Dell, Magrant's Fork. Sure. Grimda said one of the thieves mentioned an abandoned farm on the path to Deerford. We're going to be there in a few minutes or streams. Which is better, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition or this game? Or this game? This game. This game is better than Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. You're talking about the first one. Definitely this game. If you really can't stand real time with pause, then I guess Divinity is better. But this has a much better world, much better storyline, much better characters. It's just so much better on all accounts. And it's got a more interesting character system. It's probably not as fun to play with... I mean, it's not as fun as playing Divinity Original Sin with somebody. So if, like, I think Divinity Original Sin, the original one, the first game, is a lot of fun with somebody, playing with another person. Divinity Original Sin 2 is probably better than this game. Probably better. It's probably the best... RPG, not the best RPG that I've ever played, because nothing tops the Age of Decadence. But it's if the Age of Decadence didn't exist, then Divinity Original Sin would probably be the best one. I need to play that game a lot and alone just to sort of explore weird things and save the game. But that game has a lot of options, a lot of tactical things, and just it's a lot of... It's crazy good. I'm so surprised. I was not expecting it to be this good. I'm really hyped for Wasteland 3, and I'm really hyped for Pillars of Eternity 2. That's the one. I'm really hyped for those games. I know there's two of them that I'm always hyped, but I'll keep thinking about Battletech. And I'm also hyped for Battletech, but for sequels, I'm really hyped for Pillars of Eternity 2 and Wasteland 3. And I guess also Bard's Tale 4, but Anyway, and I'm really hyped for those. But I'm not expecting them to be as good as Divinity Original Sin 2 is. Because if they are, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. Oh my god. Because Divinity Original Sin 2 is just amazing. It's so much fun. It's so good. I mean, it's well written, it's well paced, it's beautiful, it's got an interesting character system, it's got amazing spells, amazing combat. The characters are really fun. I mean, it's just, everything is amazing on that game. It's just so, it's awesome. It's awesome. Neuranian. I can pronounce that. Neuranian. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? You never finished Wasteland 2? It's fine. It's fine. It's sort of, it's a nice game, I suppose. I mean, if it had modding or mods or just a modding community that would kind of fix the stuff that it has broken, there's a lot of stuff that should be better and just redesigned. That's the thing. That's what I mean. This is how I hope they pick up on what it did well and just make it better. And that's why I'm expecting Wasteland 3 to be just better and more. Yeah, it's got poor balance on a higher difficulty. Yeah, it's got poor balance on normal difficulty as well. Let's see. Kill Zola the Oak Chief. Oh, that's below Cadnua. And this is about Odnua as well. Okay, so we did all the quests. We are gonna go to the keep.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I must. We're gonna go to the what do they call it? It's a keep. It's basically the place where they have the government. We're gonna go there because maybe now I'll be able to get access to the souls and have some information. What's it called? Ducal Palace. Ah, I thought it was keep. Valiant Embassy over there. Sure. Maybe we're gonna be able to help Ether out because he's looking for his brother. Looking to see what happened to his brother. Cyberpunk 2077. I am really expecting. I'm expecting of that game, although who knows what's gonna be. Phoenix Point. Didn't that come out already? Huh. Maybe. Or I'm just mistaken. Probably just mistaken. Overpowered Dogs, the Viking effect. Oh, Expedition Vikings was also a pretty awesome game.
Good day, stranger.
Too short, though. Okay. I think we did it. So we asked him to have access to the records from the time of the Saints' War. This is the war that created the whole babies being, or people say, created the whole babies being born without souls. So we're looking for Ether's brother, who apparently might have been fighting for the wrong side or for the other side. But that's the interesting bit about Ether. Let's see if anything happens. So before, he wouldn't let us have access to the records, but now, for the first time, he turns his full attention towards you, and his eyes flicker in recognition. Of course, that policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. He looks up at the shelf and withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hands. The rosters are in the front. Rosters, not roasters. Rosters. That's for looking for soldiers, I suppose. The inventories are inventories of the dead in the back. He passes it to Ether's outstretched hands. Ether leafs through the book for some time anxiously, running his thick farmhand's fingers over page after page of names. At last his hand stops, his fingers just below one name.
Woden Talesh, died 18 Majaverno 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relog. Blazing Glanfather names, I swear.
Those are the easy ones, man.
Rayet Saris?
Oh? Wait a minute. Woden Twilesh. 15 of Magiverno. 2808. That is way too long ago, man. That's like 60 years ago, right? Or 20. Third Battle of Cleaban Relag. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. He stopped short, his eyes bulging. They scanned back and forth over and over. Red Ceres, he says.
I'll be the effigy. He fought for Raid Ceres. Why'd he fight for Raid Ceres?
So the fun thing about Eder, there's many. This character is really interesting because he's understated. He's if you were to describe him, I think, if you were to describe Eder, you would sort of come up with descriptions like empathic, emotive, stubborn, and witty. So I think these are 4 words that you could use to describe Eder, but he does not come across as these things. He doesn't come across as a jerk either, but he's just sort of understated. Like, if you're writing a character and you do an outline of the character, you're going to write these down and just going to say, okay, this is the character that I want him to be. And his choices are very much motivated by these aspects, but the way he talks, the way he's written, are not these. And it's like they did a purposeful attempt to conceal his attitude. So when you get to know him, you know how cool of a guy he is. And all these different facets that he has to him, which is pretty awesome. Down to the point where he's trying to pet Itumak, the winter fox that Sagani has. But it's just like he's really, and also he's a little bit racist. Just sort of his upbringing, you can tell that he's racist. But he doesn't do it because he's racist on purpose. It's just because of the way he is. Or the way he was raised. He hasn't been confronted with that. So he's very honest. So I'm saying this because what he mentioned before, and that actually, I think that started my whole path towards understanding Eder, as I do right now. When he was talking about his brother and about the storyline of his brother, the cool thing that that really struck me was that, so his brother went to the war against Waidwen, against Red Ceres. That Waidwen is the leader of the Red Ceres army. Red Ceres is the country that invaded Deerwood, which is the country that we're in. And his brother went to war. He didn't. He went to war just later. So he didn't go immediately. He went to war later. And then, like halfway through the war, and I guess that would be this year and sort of that battle, he heard that his brother had died in that battle, or a battle, just he didn't say the battle, but he heard that his brother had died, but he also heard that his brother might have been fighting for the enemy rather than fighting the enemy. And, at this point, you kind of, your normal reaction would be, he betrayed us, or he shouldn't have died or he died because he was an idiot, or he's fighting for the losing side, because you're fighting in a war, and sort of you die if you are fighting for the losing side more than you die if you're not. Or you tend to. But that's not what he did. He said it very explicitly. Eder worried not that his brother was fighting for the wrong side, but that Eder might have been fighting for the wrong side, fighting against Red Ceres. And of course you understand why he said this, but it's not immediately, it surprises you. But of course it makes sense that he would say this, and I explained to you. Waidwen was the incarnation, or the self-proclaimed incarnation of Eothas. Eothas being the god of rebirth and a few other things, and a god that both Eder and his brother worshipped. Now, a part of that, part of somebody else invading your country and proclaiming to be the incarnation of your god, is always going to be, a part of your reaction is always going to be, you're lying, so I'm fighting you because you're heretic and just you're a fake. So for Eder to recognize, who looked up to his brother, to recognize that his brother might change sides, which is a tricky thing to do, just to start with. It's very normal that Eder would recognize that maybe he should have also switched sides. So this is very much at the central point of the storyline of Eder. So why the fight for Red Ceres? He's asking. Let's see. I don't know. That's an honest I think that's what I answered in my Let's Play. He may not be meant to fight. We may not be meant to fight out. I'm sure he had a good reason. I'm gonna go with the diplomatic option here. I'm gonna try and basically support him in his initial opinion, maybe, about the whole thing. I am too. He stares at the paper. His complexion drained. I'm sure he had a good reason, and he's too. I am too.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea, the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. And who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
Actually, I think that's what happens. This is just a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but yeah, you can see that he's got this goofy side to him. Not goofy as in heavy-handed. He's not Minsk goofy. He's sort of Minsk, but a grown-up Minsk that's not a comic book character. I'll help you any way I can, man.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
No, it's fine. So there we go. We at least helped out Ether. We're gonna have a chat with him again outside, and I'm also gonna have a chat with Durance, because Durance doesn't let me talk to him very much, and he also has these conversations about precisely killing Waidwen and Eothas and all that. I look cold. I'm a little bit cold. My feet are colder than anything. My hands are perfectly fine, so I'm good. Usually it's my hands that matter, so yeah. What will the next stream be, asks Adilagi. That will be Darkwood, indeed. Yes, it's gonna be on Tuesday. The Twitch lagger. Oh, they did. I'm not dropping frames. That's amazing. Yeah, Twitch lagging sucks, but at least I'm not dropping frames. So yeah. Lots of snow. Oof. Yeah, it doesn't snow here. I hope it doesn't. Otherwise, it's probably gonna be bad because I have to drive, and it's probably bad. Still, WTSPQ says he sees chats on the gameplay, but when you chat, you're not oh yeah, WTSPQ, that's because there's a delay. So basically, just for those of you that haven't realized this yet, let me see, so I'm pointing over there, so that should be pretty easy. Actually, I can point it with a mouse. Up here, duh, I'm an idiot. Up here, you can see the chat. I can see it on my screen. I can see it on that screen right there, because that's where I have the preview. And that chat is the same chat that I see on this screen below the camera. Which is where I actually read the things. That thing is the one that just goes up on the stream. When you see your message appear up there, that's when I see your message appear up here. Now, I'm focusing on the game and all that, so it takes a little bit of time, and I'm also reading from top to bottom, so I can just sort of go through as many messages as I can. But that's the lag that you have. That's the lag that... Well... Yes, that's the lag that you have to see me, because it works the other way for me. Your messages are in real time. When Kara just said what she said right now, I think, yes. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I know you're a guy. I just mix up. I think it doesn't matter. Anyway, when Kara said, "Let him finish," it's funny. I saw it immediately. The problem is it doesn't go back to you guys immediately. That's the lag. That's what I was saying. So I see your messages immediately as you post them. You just don't see my reaction immediately. You just got like a 6-second delay or 10-second depending. You can actually see that if you click down here. I believe it is down here somewhere in the Twitch interface, and go into stats, advanced stats, and you can tell the delay you have. And that's the delay you have regarding me. When I say this, in about 10 seconds, you'll see that on your phone or your tablet or computer, whatever. So yeah. Oh, Ninjati is going away. See you later. Bye. Don't let the boogeyman bite. No, don't do that. Oh, no problem, Addy Laggy. Thank you for coming. Bye. Hope you enjoyed it. Your house is on fire. Maybe you should take a fire check. Rain check. Is your house on fire, Addy Laggy? What did you do to the kitchen? Please don't burn out your house. That's not a good thing to do, generally. I also don't have bots, so uptime, I can tell you the uptime. 1 hour, 7 minutes, 46 seconds. So that's the, yeah, I don't have a bot. You say most extreme things, casual. That's just the internet, isn't it? Did I ever play Silver? I did not, actually. I don't know what that is. No problem, WSPQ. You're thanking for the explanation. That's fine. His chat wasn't working. Not a little late. Maybe that was the case. Maybe. Oh, WSPQ wasn't working. Okay, yeah. No, I wouldn't, WSPQ. I would make a terrible customer service person. I'm not. You're not my customers, so I would be a good friend service customer, wait a minute, friend service person, but not a customer, because I can tolerate customers. It's just entitled. It's just I can't deal with that. My sister works on that. I have because of my lack of skills at customer service, I have basically locked myself out of customer service in my company. So. Yay. And because I enjoy a privileged position, I wasn't fired for it. So amazing. It's a 1999 RPG. I have not played it. Silver. Huh. Need to look it up. So Silver RPG. Good. If it's 1999, it might be good. And if you're talking about it, it might be good. Oh, it's on Portuguese. Does it have a Portuguese translation? That's the one, Bruno. Yeah, probably. So I could play it on Portuguese as well if I wanted to. Although it might be a Brazilian Portuguese, so there's a few things that kind of don't work as I am accustomed to. So I saw a clip saying, "Oh, Pterodactyl, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Welcome back." Yes. Oh, you clicked on the link. Yeah. It used to be that you could add notifications, but yeah. Oh, you double-clicked. That's even worse. Oh, the surprises. Action RPG with isometric perspective and beautiful painted background. That sounds lovely, actually. I mean, 1999 action RPG. Down for that. I'm a big fan of Diablo 2. Okay, so let's have a chat with Ether. I've been asking myself, if I was a murderous secret society in Deerwood, what would I do? But none of my ideas are very good. Yeah, what it's talking about here is about the Latin key, which we are trying to track down. And that's the 3 parts of the main quest that we're doing. So the first part that we did, we found out about a machine that made a whole district of the city turn into undead and kill a bunch of people. And that's what the Latin key did. And we don't really understand very well what it did. But what we do know is that that machine might have been an experiment or might have been their intention. But these guys are working with machines that send souls elsewhere. That machine was the opposite of the other machines. But these machines they redirect souls to other places. This machine kind of gathered the souls over here, and that's why there was so many undead. That's what undead are in this game. So, I wanted to ask something about you. If you're sure, he says. So what did you do before this? Did I never talk to Ether? Man, what did you do before this?
Oh, other than the war, I never strayed too far from where you found me. Farming, mostly. I was never much for cities. Never learned a trade.
The Dog Days, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, he's a farmer. We knew that.
In my younger days, I thought I was going to go preach the word of Aethys. Just in our temple there. My parents encouraged it. I made so much trouble for them growing up. They used to say it'd be best if I got in good with the God of Redemption. Of course, us blowing him up probably didn't help my chances there. But if anybody'd forgive you for blowing him up, it'd be Aethys.
So, Aethys is the god of rebirth and redemption and a few other things as well that I was talking about before. And that he follows still. What did the people of Gilded Vale really... No, did the people of Gilded Vale really try to kill you? That's where we came from, Gilded Vale.
They did. It was strange timing, because we just won the war. They celebrated when I came home. There was music and dancing. Trumbull used half his grain making this big honey cake. I still dream about that cake. Like having the best lover of your life, but only for one night. And they were all sorry to hear about my brother.
Huh.
Took a while for word of the purges to reach us. Aethasians being murdered in the streets. Cold Morn and the like. No way would they let something like that happen in Gilded Vale. That's what they all said.
So what he's referring to here, the purges are throughout all the country. They were killing people who followed Aothos. Aothos being the god. Aethasians are their name. That's where it comes from. Cold Morn is a place that was the first place to have been completely destroyed by the purges.
But the weeks went by and the purges spread. Pretty soon they weren't so sure my brother fought for Deerwood. And they weren't so sure I did. Caught me by surprise after all the celebrating. Should have seen it coming after the tailor said he was going to fit me for some new clothes, but then all he wanted was my neck measurement.
Ha! Really?
Nah, not that last part.
Oh.
But you had to think about it. Says a lot about the place I've been calling home all these years.
Why did you stick around though? That's lovely. I love that. That was me saying, but that's the option that I have.
I'm sure my parents are still wondering the same thing. The Aothasian purges were like this madness had come over the town, like a disease. Seems like when you see something like that, your instinct is to wait for it to pass, even when you know it probably won't. The family whose farm I worked on, they had a little Hollowborn girl. And they heard the Animancers had this cure, the Salvation it was called. They went running.
We're gonna learn later about the Salvation, actually very soon about the Salvation, directly, but he's gonna tell the story. Just as a reminder, Hollowborn is babies without souls, or a person without soul.
This Salvation, they were putting animal souls in children. You might have heard about it.
Yeah.
Giving them enough personality to care for themselves. Well, you can guess how that turned out. Matter of time, the children broke down. Became wild things. Monsters.
Yep, they're called the Wicts. We're gonna fight some of those, eventually.
Anyway, these farmers put the family dog's soul in their little girl. For a while, the girl, she's making eye contact, she's feeding herself, albeit in a kind of messy way. And one day she snaps. They found her gnawing on her brother's bones.
Oh.
Had to chain her up, put her in a cow pen. Well, the mother, she wouldn't have anything to do with the girl after that. But the father, he'd visit every day. Feed her chickens, toss water on her once in a while to get the dirt off. Most of the village, they'd whisper about him. Poor man, they'd say. Sick with grief.
Yep.
He was just waiting for his daughter to look up one day and recognize her papa. He was waiting for her to get better. Didn't understand that at the time, of course, but these days I think about him a lot.
Do you have any family? Just my parents now. They took a ship back to Adir when the purges started. Wanted me to go with them, but I didn't see things like they did. Been a long time since I've seen them. I really should visit, but for some reason I haven't much felt like leaving home. Good thing they chased me out of, or I might have never left. Yeah. Yeah, he's got this sort of, this familial attitude to him. And Dog Days is suggesting romancing the Ether. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if there's romances in this game. I don't think so. But, yeah, we could go for that. Pacemaker presents? I don't know. Pacemaker? So tell me about your brother.
Woden was, about everything you'd want your firstborn son to be. Dutiful, honest, put thought into everything he did. Real pain in my ass. Made me look bad about every way he could. It wasn't something he tried to do, but of course that just makes it worse. Not that he didn't get into trouble himself. He was just better about feeling guilty after. We used to have this farmer near us, Hereward. Couldn't stop talking about how well he cared for his chickens. How their feathers were the whitest in town. Convinced the butcher to pay him double what the other farmers got. Me and Woden got tired of hearing it. I was maybe 11, 12 at the time. We We borrowed about 6 different dyes from the dyer one night. Dyed Hereward's chickens every color but white. Next morning, the butcher comes knocking asking for 6 of his whitest chickens. We were feeling great, up until Hereward saw what we'd done. He just got on his knees and cried right there. All those colorful chickens around him not knowing what to make of it. I thought it served him right, but I could tell Woden had other thoughts. Sure enough, the next day, every one of those chickens had been scrubbed down. They weren't white, mind you, but Woden sure tried. Never said a word to me about it, but I knew. That was Woden. My parents, they always let us be who we were. Never told me to be more like him or anything like that. Which was good, because I was never gonna.
I kind of wanted to ask how did he know it was his brother? Because he could have been the butcher, I suppose. Cold Morning surrendered after the Red Settlers' army started their invasion. That's why they were first killed. That's where the purges started, yes. After the end of the Saints' War, a Deerwoodian mob burned down their village in an attempt to get revenge, because they had surrendered. They were considered weak. There's another place as well next to that actually had the opposite thing. There aren't any romances in Pillars of Eternity 1. I think there should have been, actually. I mean, it's tricky to write romance, though, especially in a role-playing game. Well, I say that. I have never ever played any visual novel with romance, but for all the things that I've seen of visual novels with romance, all the romances are cheesy as all hell. And even in anime that is adapted off of visual novels, the only one... Oh, it's not a visual novel. Okay, so every single anime that I've seen that is adapted off of a visual novel is cheesiest thing is the romance. Like one of my favorite series, probably my favorite anime that is based off of a visual novel is Steins Gate. The anime is really good, but the romance is the worst part. It is okay, bearable. There's some parts that are just cringy as hell, and it's just the series is good, but the romance is definitely the worst part of the series. It's not easy being cheesy. You need to be cheesy with skill. But for this game, actually, romances would be really hard to pull off. I don't know how they would do that. They just need to like get somebody to write those things properly. But the other would be a very nice companion. Actually,
What's on your mind?
I think. Let's think about the companions that we have and the ones that would do good romance stories, because I think the Ether would be a good romance story, especially if you force the player to really understand the character, like I'm trying to understand in this playthrough. Aloth, I suppose it's not. Aloth is such a bland character, though. I don't really think that Aloth would be a very interesting romance. Fandom Tribal, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Welcome on in. Did I watch or read Berserk? I have watched 2 episodes of Berserk, but I didn't finish it. I didn't read it either. Palagina would be a very interesting romance. Sort of a very... That would be a very interesting romance. I think the Weeping Mother would be amazing. I mean, I just love that character. I mean, but if they could add a romance aspect to her, it would be just incredible if they really could pull it off. Because she's such a... I mean, she's so deep as it is that if you could add just another layer to that and just add the romantic aspect of it and just sort of get her to open up about everything, because she never opens up even when you complete her quest, and just get her to do that, and because she's also magic and really old and you're the only one that can see her the way she is, I mean, it could be amazing. Let's see. So we have Sagani. You probably shouldn't romance her, but you could try. I mean, because she's married already. But maybe a romance where she betrays her husband and just has to come to terms with that. That could be interesting. Just not be cheesy cookie cutter romances, I guess, where you just win the person over and then you have a fade to black together and then that's that forever. Yeah, that could be an interesting thing. Romancing Sagani. What's that guy that there's a chanter? I don't know that guy well enough to know if he'd be an interesting romance. Durance would be a crazy, mad, fiery romp. That would be just terrible. I don't think Durance could... Imagine you trying to romance Durance. That would be the worst. That would be just the worst. That guy is terrible. You can't. Don't. Durance would be awful. The Hiravius would be amazing, though. Hiravius is the little druid that we have, the Orlan druid. He's just really fun. He's very frisky though, so it'd be really tricky to getting to tame him basically. But that'd be interesting. Reading Berserk is like a practice in self-flagellation. Yes, that's why I haven't read it. That's why I haven't watched the series either. I want to watch it, but I need to watch other things first. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. That's not even a romance really. It's just a tragedy. Just sort of. Yeah, I mean it's good, but it's good. It's good, but it's just overdone by now. Yeah, she has a. That's what I mean, Dog Days. That's what I mean. You're just not trying. He would be evil. You shouldn't do that. I guess you'd be evil in the sense that you're breaking up a relationship with a family. But if you were into that, especially because she's really cute. I mean, she's a dwarf and she has a bow. But if you were into that, then. That would be a very interesting romance to do, I suppose. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just not make every romance about trying to get a character to open up, trying to get a character to be won over by you, and that's that, because that's just cheesy. Don't do that. Just make it interesting, be challenging. It's just the thing is, writing romance is very, very hard, because it's, especially for us, you can see that in other, especially for a English-speaking audience, I should say, because cinema hasn't done romance any favors. If you see romances written by European authors in general that do not speak English, you can see, and I say this with very little experience actually, but you can see a lot more intimacy, and it's the intimacy that matters. Whereas traditional romance in cinema is more about the acts and more about what you say and not about the intimacy. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in a normal romance, in real life, not fiction, that is very hard to translate into fiction. So it's tricky. And if they could put that in. Oh, the new Berserker is a continuation. Okay, that's good. That's good then. Yeah, I did know that the original one was like just a series or something. That's right, Dog Days. She is a dwarf and she has a bow. She doesn't have a beard. I mean, not one on her face anyway. Bearded women make a mean stew, says WTSBQ. That should be my slogan. Actually, it would be my slogan if I were a woman. That'd be interesting. Even if I didn't have a beard, that'd be awesome. Who talked about DiCaprio? I never watched DiCaprio's Romeo and Juliet though. I didn't watch any Romeo and Juliet ever. I really like DiCaprio though. I mean, I like his work. His acting is sort of meh. Not my favorite actor, but a lot of his movies are really, really good and I really enjoy them. Even the ones that I don't enjoy as much, like for example The Aviator. That movie is just annoying at a certain point, but it's still enjoyable because of him. But it's an interesting movie. The Great Gatsby. I don't think I've read that. Tom Hanks is your favorite actor. Don't remember Tom Hanks. I can't picture his face. So I can't really say. Jorn, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Do you remember Tom Hanks? Romeo and Juliet, a modern take. Okay, let's continue. Let's talk to...
It makes two of us.
Let's talk about Elthus. I was wondering about Elthus, I said. And he says makes two of us. Yes. So this requirement over here is just if I'm a paladin. That was me muting the microphone. If I was a paladin, I could ask about Elthus. So, we haven't asked anything to Ether. What is there to know about Elthus?
If you're looking to find religion, maybe you want to start with a god that hasn't been burned to dust, but I won't stop you. Aethys, he was a young man with a silver crown. Carried a candle around with him. Sounds like I'm giving a bad eulogy here.
He does, he does. He was a lot of different things to different people, I guess. Rebirth, redemption, light. Out in the country, he's gone. The farmer who helps all things pass, seasons and people both. He watches over the weak, that's gone. Sees imbalances made right. You could see why all the copperless rowdies around here might take a liking to someone like that. He was real popular here for a time. These days, you won't find too many worshipping Aethys in the open. It's hard to know who still does in private, and who's given up. Feels like I'm the last one sometimes. If that's the case, he deserves all the mourning. Aethys, it's like, he is not read. I don't know who wrote him, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't any of the people that worked on Durance and the Weeping Mother, or Pallegina for that matter. It might have been. I've seen who wrote Ether, and there's another character that's also written by these guys. I think there's two people that worked on him, and he has this very special writing style, but it's just so consistent. It's just good. It's just good. Do you still worship Aethys?
In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years.
Far as I know, he hasn't said anything to anybody since the God Hammer detonated. Yeah, the God Hammer again is the weapon that killed the god. Why worship him, then? Well, if it turns out he's not dead, and I gave up on him, I'd have betrayed my god twice. Even the god of redemption's gotta have standards. I'd probably be reborn as a fat Almawa's horse. That's not really it, though. Not all of it, anyway. Well, guess it's more I still believe in the things he believed in. Just hope his death doesn't mean the death of those things as well. Sometimes it looks that way. Yeah. So one of the things that happened about the Aethasians that fought against Red Sarahs, against Waidwen, who was the incarnation of Aethys, is that they might have claimed that Waidwen was not the actual incarnation of Aethys, but when he was killed and Aethys sort of disappeared, that's sort of a terrible realization for somebody that followed Aethys, and that he has that. Actually, that doesn't make it's not such a big part of his character as you would think it would be, but that's an aspect that, yeah. Let's see. Tom Hanks, Castaway, Apollo 13, Forrest Gump. I know who Tom Hanks is. You mentioned Forrest Gump. I still need to watch Apollo 13 because I have a documentary that I want to watch about Apollo 13, the movie. League of Their Own. I think I have watched that, actually. Toy Story, I have not. Tom Hanks played Forrest Gump. Yeah, that's the one. I like DiCaprio in The Departed. I can't remember that. I don't think I watched that. Sleepless in Seattle and Saving Private Ryan. That's Tom Hanks as well. That's a good point. Yes, I do enjoy Tom Hanks. He's got a very specific way of playing his characters. But then again, he's in my opinion, he's not a very multifaceted actor. But then again, many of the actors that I like are not multifaceted. So maybe that's not even a thing that you should have. You shouldn't be the guy that does this. Who's the guy that does this? Come on, I don't remember names. I actually like him, but even as a director, the guy that does this, and I can't remember who it is. God damn it! How do I not remember this? Did I see it? Oh, I haven't seen Forrest Gump. Yes, I have not seen Forrest Gump. Or if I have seen some action bits. It was playing on television once when I passed by and saw some bits where he was running and breaking his legs, or his mechanical legs. Yeah, I recognize some Forrest memes. I mean, it's just it's normal, right? I am gonna watch Bumpy make a fool of himself in tonight's stream. I hope so, anyway. Jorn? Yes. Eric Furnister wrote Ether. Okay, so he's the guy that also wrote my favorite character in this game. He's amazing. Eric Furnister is a furnace maker. Sorry, I can pronounce his name. I never... I can't. But Eric is an amazing writer. And he also wrote, Carrie Paddle, that's the one. I think it's Carrie Paddle and Eric who have worked on my favorite character. I don't remember her name. It's a late game character that only shows up at the very end. And she has like this amazing dialogue that I was screaming it. It's just awesome. But Eric is the one that worked on Heather. And he worked on it by himself. Okay, but Carrie worked on the other character that I was talking. She wrote Aloth and Menha. Well, if she wrote Aloth, then the nice bits of the character that I like were written by Eric. Because Aloth is too bland. Make him more interesting. Come on. I mean, I like the other crazy character, but anyway. Thank you for the information, Dog Days. Thank you very much. Green Mile, I've not watched that. Ellen Hunt's character. Oh, Castaway. That's okay. Leo Cothea, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Welcome back. How is it going? Finster Maker. Right. Sorry, Eric. If you're watching, you're not. Okay. Let's get back to Heather. And see what's going on. Why did you choose to worship Elthas in the beginning?
Raised that way. My family's been Aothasian going way back. Suppose it wasn't much of a choice at first. Don't know for sure why my family started worshiping him. Probably because of Gon looking after folks like us.
He looks at you in the eyes, conspiratorial. Could just as well be that my ancestors did something so bad that Elthas could forgive. That only Elthas could forgive. It'd explain a lot about where I got some of my less respectable traits. Yeah? Did you only worship him because that's how you were raised?
Mm-mm. There was something I genuinely liked about Aethys. Always. Like he understood people better than the other gods. Knew all our flaws and weaknesses and accepted us for that. Folks are at their worst when they're afraid. A god like Aethys, he made you realize there was nothing to fear. Made you a better person.
I think I wrote down something here. This is very important. No, that's different. The gods are just, and they care for their faithful. Whatever stain there is upon your soul, the gods can wash it clean. These are words by Theos X Arcanon, who is so far the main villain of the game. We have barely seen him, and mostly in visions. But he was talking about a different god, I'm sure. But I was wondering here, that's what I wrote down. Could Theos be behind Wade Wen's invasion? This came to me earlier, and I can understand Maegrin really not liking Elthas. Maegrin is the goddess of fire. She punishes people. I can understand she not liking Elthas, and she was behind the God Hammer. She helped Durance and his team make the bomb that killed Elthas. But the Wodica is the goddess of vengeance, and you can see how distant she is from Elthas. And Wodica is the queen that was. Basically, she was queen of gods, and then basically she was not anymore, so she's sort of trying to get revenge against the gods. And just like Elthas is everything that she's not. And that's interesting.
Of course, he goes away for a few years, and look what happens.
Catch Me If You Can. That was also a pretty interesting movie. Although it could have been better, but it was cool. How far have we got on Endless Paths while I was away? I've not gone anywhere in the Endless Paths. I did that stream, and that was that. So if you watch the stream where I went to the Endless Paths, then that's that. No, the Dog Days. I don't want you to spoil the plot. I mean, you can spoil. It's just like I know the plot. It's just I'm trying not to spoil it for people who don't know the plot. So I'm trying to contextualize the plot as best I can. I do know sort of it. I don't remember everything in detail, but if I did, I'm sure I would be able to do a good job. But I think it's also fun to sort of try to get some theories in there. Yes, the dog days. That is, I think, what you're saying is the plot right there. The explain the background of the Saints War from the perspective of the gods. That's the main point of the game, and that's why the game is so fun. And that's why I think this sort of engagement that I'm having with the storyline and with these characters is important to then sort of bring it all together at the end when we get, explained everything, sort of. So what made you think Waidwen didn't speak for Eothas? Because that's what I was saying. Waidwen the man, Eothas the god.
Was his actions. I mean, not when he started his rebellion, and not even when he took over Raed Saris. It was when he sent his armies into Deerwood.
Up to that point, he was sticking up for his people. That's what Eothas does. At least the gone part of him. Those farmers were starving and their government didn't lift a finger. I figured if it wasn't Eothas himself, at least he had the right idea. But then he sent his armies across the border, even crossed it himself in the end. Word was he was chasing refugees that escaped the rebellion, wanted to punish them, and punish us for allowing them to leave here. That just didn't fit it for me. Those are the deeds of a vengeful god. Skaen or Woodica, maybe. Ha! Or just a man who'd lost his sense. I still have trouble believing it, but there's no one left to ask if it's true. Well, there's watchers out there. There's watchers, which I am, so I can talk to souls. And also there's people whose souls come from back then. So Skaen. I'm gonna write it down. Skaen is another god. Skaen, I believe, is the god. It's a trickster god, sort of. Not as clear cut as that. But if that is the case, yes, yeah. If that is the case, then how did that happen? It's not a case of from the mouth of babes, but Ether is saying things. Tell me about the purchase.
You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something?
Legacy of people being born without souls. It's eye-opening, seeing just how naked you are when you've got no god to protect you. The Saints' War was a hard time to be a Deerwooden. People thought it was the end of times. They talked big about how we were going to defeat a god, but I don't think there was a man from here to the White March didn't think he was going to die. It does something to you, thinking you're going to die at someone else's hands. There's a rage that comes. Indignation. Imagine a whole country full of that. Might have been Cold Morn that started it, down near the border. They let Waidwen march right on through. Rest of Deerwood cursed their names till the end of the war. Some say it was the Othasians that persuaded the town not to oppose the army. Others said it was just cowardice. It was like the Legacy that way. No one knew the real reason, so they just picked whichever one best suited what they wanted to believe. Either way, that town was burning before the first ashes of Eothas hit the ground, and it felt good to the people here to be in control after being so helpless. So the fire spread. A lot of Othasians went the way of our god. There were claims from the Church of Magrin that she'd actually commanded the purges. I found that hard to believe. Sounded to me like people doing what they wanted, wrapping their god around it like she was a cloak. Then again, that's what I thought about Waidwen. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Magrin didn't order the purges because
What's on your mind?
Durance keeps saying that she doesn't talk anymore.
I'm ready.
So let's have a chat with Durance. Because he's gonna be fast, because he just sort of shuts down after a little bit. Skaen is best god, says the god Days. Let's see. Let's check who Skaen is. Skaen, god of defiance, violent rebellion, secret hatred, covert plots, resentment, and envy. Sounds like he would go right hand in hand with Woodica. Frequently pictured as a disfigured and scarred slave, and worshipped most often by the subjugated and destitute. Now that actually makes sense. Covered plots there. Skaen, though, we do talk to people who worship Skaen. I just don't remember who it is. Hiravius. Who does Iravia... Who does Iravia's, is that Leah? Or Galawain? Yeah, it's Galawain. Yeah, the god of the hunt. So let's have a chat with Durance over here and see what he has to say.
If
Some
doubts
questions.
and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
I wanted to ask about the region and its history. So I wanted to know more about the Salvation. Oh, the Salvation. We talked about that before. Man, these things just have this way of... I've been lucky, but the storylines that we keep talking about, they have the way, and what I say just have the way of intertwining perfectly. We were talking about the Salvation before, and Ether was talking about that. So yeah, tell me about that. When the Animancers try to place animal souls into children, Durance snarls. If you ever needed proof of their trespasses, that alone speaks to it. Waidwen may have taken a god, but to put an animal inside the vessel of a child... animancy is madness. Worse, it took too long to see the crime for what it was. I heard of the first tales, the Orlan, suffering first, like they always do. Animals within animals, compounding the madness. Yeah. Orlans are sort of gnome-like creatures that have fur, and they just get racist slurs thrown at them. Did you see what happened? First was a woman. Could have chalked that up to a female weakness. Then the catmen. Could have chalked that up to them being animals. Then more and more souls ended up at their claws. Oh, we're catmen now, says Iravius. I suppose I could just reap Durance's spleen out through Navel. I guess we'd chalk that up to being an animal? Durance's gaze hardens. I would have given anything to place them within a cage with those they saved, and see their craft shape the craftsman. Let those children tear their tormentors apart. I can only give a taste of what they should suffer. It is meager fare for both of us. Okay, I wanted to ask something else.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Harry, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Woodica is the queen that was. Yes, indeed, dog days. Whereas rebellion and resentment are Skin's dominion. They'd never team up. They never? Are you sure? They would. Because Woodica is the queen of vengeance. So, rebellion and resentment. You know what I mean? Just from that perspective. Tell me about Magrin. This is going to be a fun one. Oh, you know her. You must. He gives you a bitter chuckle, then his tone evens out. She's a many-headed bitch. Many-headed bitch. Trying to understand what he means by that. I never really understood his attitude towards Magrin. Not in this playthrough, and definitely not in the Let's Play. I never fully understood. At the end, I was confused. I thought I came to an understanding, but I wasn't certain. That might have to do with the fact that Magrin actually holds a lot of power, because she's the goddess, the patron goddess of the capital city of Deerwood, and I believe all the Valiant republics as well. Or although the Valiant republics are a little bit more godless, they sort of just try not to get the gods involved. So what is your view on Magrin?
She's a goddess, as fickle as they come, and with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
I think I was right. Although flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that is the only truth she embraces. Who knows? Gods get greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. So, what are her aspects? Durance begins to count on his fingers, chanting it off. War transforms, fire consumes, trials purify. Warfare, fire, consuming, purification, and most of all, transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, transform.
They're all linked, although at its heart is the flame. The flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that, eh? Any fool around a campfire knows that.
Well, without flames, fire, we would have made little progress in the dark.
To hear some of the inner fires tell it around the hearth and bellows, even in the halls of Ashfall, you'd think that fire brought life to man. And that fire was Maegrin. Some of the older texts says she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flame. Or another god shafted her like a poker.
I don't have water on me. Skane is rebellion. Woodica was the queen of the gods, resentment, plots, viciousness, and envy. Woodica is the goddess of justice and law. Oh, Woodica is the goddess of justice and law, so not vengeance. Okay. Despite both being bad gods, they are in most ways opposites. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, the Dog Days. It is interesting then that Ether would put them together, but you explain it well. I didn't understand the Woodica was, I didn't remember that Woodica was the goddess of justice. I'm gonna stop making Duran's voice, otherwise I'm gonna destroy my voice. Even though it doesn't hurt me to do that, it's getting a lot of phlegm in the throat or whatever. There are different perspectives on her then. He grunts. Mine is only one sight among many. He frowns, pauses, and then his eyes take on an eager gleam. But here's one. I can speak to how the losing side sees her, and that should tell you enough. Let me speak what an Aedirin sees. An Aedirin here being the... So Maegrin helped Deerwood separate itself from Aedir. Aedirins being the main empire. I don't think we have deal with them too much, so we don't really. I don't really understand what Aedir is. Just the sort of size or sort of impact or influence. I don't really see them very often. And what does an Aedirin see? I ask. The Aedirins have a proper, polite translation for her. Excellence in war, tactical discipline. He snorts. That's why they lost a fucking colony, of course. They were properly still quoting that while we had. Were properly still quoting that while we had them bent across the decks. All their guns and cannons are fine, but useless when your staff is cracking light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right. His fist tightens and he laughs. Aedirans call that elevation, divine awareness. Those words are as welcome as shit on one's boots, and that's all they took back with them while they were running. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. A pang is money. And that's the lesson that they learned 150 years ago when Deerwood was founded. What do you mean a lesson, though? The title of a god isn't knowing a god. Adhering to words rather than walking the path, testing yourself in the heat of it. Walk until the words are stripped away and you feel it, burning in your heart. That is the lesson. That Aedir politeness. That pretty adherence to the word of scripture as they saw it, that burned their ships, scarred them, kept them running throughout the Deerwood campaign. Kept them running. Divine awareness. There's no true faith in waiting to be tested. The best in battle have already shit themselves plenty, shit themselves until they're dry and can focus on the killing. Okay, so we're back to the original Durance here. I hesitate to appellate him with this, but the most important aspect of Durance is how much of a fanatic he is. He's just a fanatic. All of his dialogues are towards this. He doesn't connect with us in a human way at any point, and all of his dialogues are. He's sort of an embodiment of the way he sees Maegrin. And to a point that it's so conflicting in of itself that he doesn't understand. So he's this sort of conflicted person that just can't come to terms with who he is and who Maegrin is. But he's sort of all that he's saying is what he is. He's the sort of he doesn't want no politeness. He doesn't want no sort of doing it by the book. He just is. He just trials. He's just and all that. It's just to the point where all that discussion that we were having with Ether, if you were listening in, he was just like, "You are a wimp. What is this about understanding your shortcomings and accepting you for that?" That's not. That's just. It's yeah.
I suspect the answers will seed more.
So, tell me about Magrin. I fear you may not like the heat by the fire, Watcher, but if you can bear it, then I will tell you what I know. So does she have any allies?
Some, shaped for hunt and war. Abidan the Golem, Galawain and his beasts. The latter keeps us honest and awake. The other makes the tools by which we punish those who are not.
So Abidan the Golem is the god of, I don't know if the Crucible Knights actually worship him, but he's the god of sort of crafting, and it's the dwarves worship him. And the Galawain is the Orlans do that as well. Some of the Orlans from Erglanfath, where Heravius comes from. Galawain is the god of the hunt. So the latter keeps us honest and awake. It's a lot of facets to that. These gods have a lot of very specific personalities, so knowing them and summarizing them is very tricky. The hunt and war. Shaped for hunt and war, but Abaddon is, it's the tools. Abaddon. Oh, that's right. I know what. Oh, let's ask about Abaddon, but I know what he's. If he's not gonna say anything, I will explain. But let's see. Not surprised you haven't heard. More gods than weed in a field, and those are only the ones of this lifetime. They come and go, but are always here at the same time. Abaddon. That's interesting. That doesn't make sense. That sort of philosophical perspective is more... Okay. This sort of philosophical perspective towards the existence of gods is more akin to our world than to the world of Pillars of Eternity. They come and go. They do. Gods are born and die in the worlds of Pillars of Eternity. But to say that they are always here at the same time, it means that they are intemporal. If you go to, for example, for Forgotten Realms, or in the way gods exist there, or maybe for and in our world, it's sort of, you have a universalist view on religion. Sort of, I don't know the details, but there are some philosophies like that, where just people see. It's sort of, if you read A Song of Ice and Fire, or if you've seen a Game of Thrones, the nameless god, is it nameless god or the god of many faces? There's a house in Bravos that worships that god. So that's the sort of perspective, that he's basically one god of many faces, and all the gods that exist they come and go, but they're still a part of the whole that is the nameless one. This is basically not even an entity, it's sort of everything. But that doesn't apply to Pillars of Eternity. The gods here, to the point where later on in the game, I'm even questioning if the gods are actually sort of supernaturally powerful to the point where they could actually do anything, or if they're just beings of a higher level. And I've talked about this before as well. But the gods aren't like, they're not intemporal. They do have a time and a place. So if they come and go, they do disappear. And we will deal with that as well, I believe, in the expansion. And this time around, I'm gonna try and do the quest line properly, and get a better ending, to sort of explore that a little bit more. So maybe this is just a token line or something. I don't really understand that. I'm just gonna put that to the back of my mind anyway. Abaddon used to look human, he says. Got killed, then built a new body for himself, transformation, with Magrin's help. Oh, that's how they got to know each other. Perhaps she needed her own blacksmith to tend the fires. If so, Abaddon serves it. He's a weapon, a tool, not a god, in my mind. Yeah, he does have this sort of superiority thing. He mentioned the way he mentioned the other gods as before. He does have this sort of, it's again the fanatic side of him, just sort of showing he feels very much that Magrin is the best god, and at the same time he hates her At least he comes across as hating her. Let's find out. Still, the people of Deerwood, the cities especially, hold him dear. So be it. Although if the reward for hard work and craftsmanship is a body like his, I'll keep my blood and my cock on his and hips to thrust with it. Oh, he doesn't like a body without a cock. Okay. And the blood. Because he's a machine, I suppose. So, just regarding very quickly, not a big spoiler or a spoiler at all. Abaddon helped Magran make the God Hammer as well, and that actually it can be understood easily because you know, Magran helped make the God Hammer, but Abaddon is sort of the god of that sort of thing, so he would have a hand in that. Duran's description of Abaddon. Huh. Doesn't make sense. Good. That's good. That's good. Dog days. Let's see. You also mentioned Galawain? Monster Father, the Great Hound, as for monsters, this world has quite a bit, and not just the ones on two legs. It's as if he's made monsters solely to hunt them, to remind men of their place. He's busy making more, I suspect. More monsters than sense. Variation upon variation. What do you mean? His aspects are a confusing bunch, and considering he respects reversals of fortune, especially in beasts, perhaps not so confusing. No reason why Magran and he share a bed in my eyes, even if he does believe in the trial, a filthy Orlan god, in many ways, howling and meowing perhaps like they do. They can keep their beasts. I'll take fire and weapons any day. Again, sort of superiority that he has, and even the racism that's there, and yeah, not just that's not even his only fault either, or because yeah. So who are Magran's enemies? It's as if you swallowed a oh, he's not gonna talk to us about that. Swallowed a gadfly nest. Keep silent and keep them to yourself, lest you tire yourself before the next campfire. Yeah, he's not gonna talk to us anymore. Let's go. So we need to go to let's look at our journal here. Quests. So the Blade of the Endless Paths. Okay, I know where I need to go. Brackenbury. Let's do the main quest. So, brief recap. We have a weird disease that allows us to see souls.
I've traveled thousands of miles on Valian trading ships, but never seen the shores of Nasitak. How did you find your way on your own, Sagani?
Well, it has taken 5 years, but Itumak never wants to ask for directions.
Perhaps you should take over as navigator in the future.
Like I always say, blame it on the fox.
Poor Itumak. Itumak is the fox. Brief recap. So, we have a weird sickness that we got at the beginning of the game that allows us to see souls. We found out that we are a watcher. A watcher is somebody that can see souls. Apparently, we also go mad because we can see souls. And we have also found out that at the same time that we became a watcher, our soul awoke. An awoken soul is a soul that can remember, with varying degrees of precision, the previous experiences of the previous owners of that soul, of the bodies that the soul incarnated, because this the way this world works is this sort of soul gets reborn and all and on and on and on. We've been getting visages from our previous history, and our previous history of our soul, and the visions are of Theos X Arcanon, the leader of the Leaden Key. The Leaden Key is an organization. Theos X Arcanon was also present at the time and place when we became a watcher and a awoken soul at the beginning of the game. So we're kind of hunting him down. We don't know where he is. He has our answers. We also don't know what the Leaden Key are trying to do. We found them underground in Woodika's temple, and we killed them all because. And we found them, or their traces anyway, in, let me see if I remember the name, Heritage Hill. Heritage Hill is the fancy part of town that basically had a huge tower from very long ago, when that basically transformed everybody into undead, and that's because of the way they are controlling souls with those towers. That tower is very much like the tower we had at the beginning of the game, and that's basically the gist of it. There's more details. That's just a reminder of how things are going. Selcad, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome in. Just in time for the main quest. A voice from the past. I've entered Brackenbury Sanitarium. According to Helic, Moedred keeps everything of value in a trunk in his laboratory. He's given me a key to open it, but that's a different quest. It's a voice from the past. Because we came here for a guy that's underground, it's a different thing. So the sanitarium is the place where they treat people that have problems with souls, with their souls. That's where the animancers are. Animancers are people who understand the souls and can make things with it. Sometimes you get people in here trying to make trouble for the animancers. That's probably the dozens, which are a sort of a guerrilla place. Let's see what these guys have to say. The head warden of the sanitarium is a statue. Quite remarkable. Yeah, I remember having fun with that guy, but it's sort of not really the head warden. They say the worst of the patients are kept locked up below. Yeah, they are. We're gonna go there. Speak with head warden Ethelmoer if you wish to make an appointment with one of our animancers. Yeah. We got Verna. I'm not gonna talk to Verna because that's just a previous soul. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernat, a valiant tragedy. Put it over there. We can take everything, so we are. Nasitak poetry compilation. Okay. Didn't actually read the most unfortunate tale. Warden, an animancer from the Republic's Bancello has requested a visit. That's the head warden over there. Extend a formal invitation. See to it that the necessary preparations are made. Of course, says the animancer. I think that's that. Yeah, let's have a chat with him. Animancy means progress and experimentation. Unfortunately, that makes some people uncomfortable. Yes, it does. And there are some animancers that are very scrupulous, others that are not. This man's soul was torn asunder by a Biwick. A Biwick is what made us awoken and a watcher. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. Yeah, he's not dead? Interesting. The animancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. A portion of his soul was recovered near his body. We used this stone as a vessel for transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? It was not with us. There were 2 people with us during the Biwick, and they died. The patient's eyes slowly open before a panicked, wild expression washes over him. Unfortunately, the extended dissociation has permanent side effects, he says. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Yeah, you need research. Everlasting life, imagine the possibilities. I heard that someone who was treated here came out twice as smart. Yeah, that's
Well
possible.
met, friend.
Otmar. We're going to have a chat with him. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. I am glad you're doing well as well, said Selcad. It's not very cold in here, so I'm good. I did not do this quest. I don't think I even came... I don't think I even came here to the sanitarium, now that I think about it. Why didn't I come in here? Huh. Let's see. A bald man with a crooked nose. Have you come to sit in? What? What is it you do here? Close as we are to Glenfathan wilds, we get a number of Biwick maiming every year. So Glenfathan ruins, or actually, Glenfathan ruins? Adiran ruins. Yeah. Adiran ruins? Is it Adiran ruins? Anyway, Glenfath. It is Glenfathan ruins. There's many names that are weird, and I'm trying to remember the names. But basically, these ruins are like thousands of years old, and they are of the empire that first discovered animancy. And the Biwicks are probably related to that, and they just kill people because of that. This sort of soul winds and things. That's what they are. Survivors dealing with complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper. I'm early in my research, only beginning to understand how they work, but in time I hope to find a way to protect people from the storm's effects.
Gods keep you.
I'd like to know more about the sanitarium. It's the mission that attracted me here. Treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. They've worked wonders. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. Yeah, stuff that basically illnesses of the soul. That's
Well
what they
met,
do
friend.
over here. Do you know anything about awakenings? I'm afraid that's not my area of expertise, he says. Okay. The head of the soul. Yeah. So he doesn't really say much. Saint Waden. Farmer become god. Oh, it's also interesting that Eothas is a farmer. But yeah, let's have a chat with the warden. Exactly, Dog Days. Why wouldn't you? They look very nice. Look at them. Yeah. So, head warden. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down and blinking, because it's a statue, over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it, and you could sense from across the room. There's a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls, he says. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I am envious of your natural insights, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that brought you to my sanitarium? So, yeah, I came here because a member of the Latin Key is in your midst. Or may be in your midst. That's the self-exiled one. That's who we saw. I always get the impression... so that's the vision we had. In that vision, I always get that, like, this time around and the previous time around, I got the impression that that person was good. And I don't know why. I don't remember why exactly. But now with this line, I can understand. I can sort of dispel that perception. That self-exiled one is a member of the Latin Key. And that is a problem. That's why we're hunting them. So we're not seeking answers. We're actually trying to... I mean, we are, but these guys are mean. So let's dispel that notion. Let's go with this. Ethelmoir groans and the stone around him shudders. I could have done without hearing that today, he says. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can... Oh, they have. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they've meddled or whether calamity has struck on its own. But a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. Once again, I am reminded of how envious I am of your gifts. I suspect they would be of some use in verifying one's identity. You are at odds with the Latin Key as well, I take it. Yeah. They're up to something, and I am trying to determine what. They are always up to something. Of that you may rest assured. If their plots have come to involve you, you have my sympathies. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I suspect it's a patient? Very well. In that case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here in their offices downstairs. No. You'll find them up here or in their offices downstairs. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. Okay. I'm looking for an animator named Moadred. Moadred, of course. You will find him downstairs in the first room to the right. Okay, I'm also curious as to how you've come to be in your present state as sort of a statue. In the statue, you mean? Oh, well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I would wake up in a new body, none the wiser, and pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are ever to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that, I'm quite sure. To leave on as part of something I helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple, our techniques go, and for that I'm grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they're not your own. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I do miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again, one of our animancers will humor me and consult over some problem, but they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to collaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I can tell you that it isn't for the easily bored. Yeah, because experiments and all that aren't. Tell me about the sanitarium. A history lesson, huh? This is a rare pleasure. Most come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution, as Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. One of the worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favored souls came to populate its streets in droves, thus the sanitarium. That's not sort of... that's just soul-sick. Not just like descendants from people who are scumbags and stuff. That's just actually people with problems in their souls. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealth more than anything, of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion in animancy, much like today. So much progress has been lost to the mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then, we have been at the forefront of Animance's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences? It's basically transfer one soul from one place to another. We're done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today, it's, well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds. If it does not go well, it could be the end of animancy in Deerwood. I fear Avar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Yeah, that's the Duke, Avar. Hadrit, Avar, I believe. Does anyone here know anything about awakenings? There's an animancer on the lower floor who came all the way from Revua to study them. Take the stairs down and look for Belasej. Belasej, I remember her. She has the voice of the animancer that we found in Gilded Vale and the warden of Kednua as well. She does a lot of voices in this game. Okay, let's look around. You're welcome to browse. The spread of knowledge is a healthy thing, don't you think? Yeah, and also me taking all your books, because I can sell them. Animancy in the modern age. Yeah, people just don't like animancers in general. Psalm of Woodica. And the Midwife's Memoirs. Welcome to the finest Animancy Center in Deerwood. Straightens his robes and gives you a nod. We see quite a few Brackenbury locals for treatment. It helps fund our research. Huh. Yeah, so they kind of make themselves useful so they can continue studying things. 80-year customs. Then we have Nance over here.
Good day, stranger.
I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. She's an elderly woman, and she's looking into things, I think. Oh, she's the lady that takes care of the sword that we did that we got, or mace actually, that we got earlier in the stream. Imatul sent me. He said you'd be interested in these scepter pieces we found. That chatty old fishwife's been blabbing about me, I see. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyway, let's see what you've got here. She looks at the scepter, and there we go. Imatul told you true. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as he may have led you to believe. And she steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the pieces in her hands. Yeah, you seem a little too excited, though. What aren't you telling me? The corners of her mouth twitch upward. Sharper than Imatul, I see. The truth is, I could repair the scepter. And she runs her fingers along one of the patterned pieces. It's broken, sure enough, but the pieces themselves are in good condition. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy, expensive alchemy. I got to soak the broken ends in a fiend's blood compound to connect them. Or to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. I could do it to the tune of 1,800 pence. Yeah. Let's do that. I expect you'll want to watch and see that your money's put to good use. Better get comfortable then. And she lays out an array of powders, potions, and other obscure ingredients out on her desk. After what feels like hours, she returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you'd never know it had been broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I've ever done, she says, if I may say so. And thanks to you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examining a piece like that is a dream come true for someone in my field. Take good care of it. The Ingwithian scepter has been added to my inventory. Let's look at it. There it is. Scepter. Just a scepter. Why would I want... I have a scepter already. It's basically... Yeah. I mean, this one gets a little bit more accuracy, I guess. It's a little bit faster. Yeah, it's a scepter. It's nothing important. Let's see. Can I help with something else? Yes, I'm investigating possible lead and key activity in the sanitarium. Seen anything suspicious? Oh, I'm afraid I'm too wrapped up in my own research to pay any mind to what else is going on around here. One of the other animancers might know something though. So what do you do here exactly? I'm an animaster, she says. Used to venture all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out of the expedition hall when I was your age. But lately, I've found research better suited to my current pace. Okay, I'd like to know more about the sanitarium. It's the official center of Animaster in Deerwood, founded in 2729. And before you get saucy, no, I wasn't around at the time. I was billed a treatment. Okay, not even important. Important sort of place to have in a growing city, and its construction marked the end of the animacy slowdown that followed the Bell Reach accident. This is important, though. A terrible setback for the discipline. A researcher working outside the Bale Marsh shattered the souls of a dozen volunteers. Of course, we'll never know exactly what went wrong because the mob tore him to pieces. This mishap we'll know exactly what went wrong. This mishap bears some of the blame for the slower pace of research in the 2.5 decades that followed, but it also helped concentrate practicing animancers here in Defiance Bay. So what do you know about the Awakenings? Not much. Okay. Yeah, I need to look around. The Man Who Waits. Nan said she's too involved in her own research to know what's going on. That's fine. I'm gonna need to talk to this guy, I think, to Wadmer, because I think he might
Greetings.
know something. Nope, he doesn't. Anybody else around here? Any other Animancer that I might talk to? Somebody with a name. Not really, we're going down. This painting is of a rolling forest glen as a strangely soothing effect. Yeah, but we're not going down today, though, because kind of wanted to go check out Bumpy's stream. Is he live yet? I think he is. I think Bumpy is live. So, even though we didn't do much, we're now in the sanitarium. So this stream was mostly... This stream named Now We're Really Meeting the Exile. The self-imposed exile, I meant. We're not meeting the exile. We're doing it next stream. Yeah, and next Pillars of Eternity stream is gonna be next Thursday at the same time, so 9 p.m. GMT. For me right now, it's 18 past midnight, so you can make your calculations. And yeah, it's gonna be here next Thursday. But next Tuesday, I'm gonna be playing Darkwood again, same time. So yeah, if you wanna see this stream or any of the streams that I have done, I have them all up on YouTube. If you go to my main YouTube channel page, so basically that's youtube.com/Colonel RPG Gaming. That's my main channel. And you go to the bottom of the page, there's playlists with all the streams, including this one. So yeah, just let you know. But yeah, that's gonna be that for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you had a fun time. Thank you so much for joining me, because you make it more fun. Have a good night. And don't forget to go to Bumpy's stream. I'm gonna host him. I always auto host him. So if you stick around, you can watch him from here. So yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do. It's gonna be fun though. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Thank you for coming.